Hello, everyone. Today, we invite you to travel back in time to explore one of the most urgent and important topics of our time. Before we delve into the details, let me introduce the first person who warned the world about what was to come. Dr. James Hansen is a renowned American climatologist who was one of the first researchers to draw attention to global warming and the impact of human activities on the planet's climate. Through his extensive research and effective communication, he has had a significant impact in raising public awareness and taking action to combat climate change. In his work, Dr. Hansen emphasized that anthropogenic emissions of greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide and methane, have led to an increase in global temperatures and triggered significant changes in Earth's climate. He warned that the effects of global warming would be disastrous if urgent measures were not taken to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Dr. Hansen also drew attention to the risk of melting ice sheets and glaciers in Antarctica and Greenland, which could lead to sea level rise and severe flooding in coastal areas worldwide. The statements and research of Dr. James Hansen have played a crucial role in raising public awareness about the importance of combating climate change and have prompted governments and organizations to take action to protect the environment and build a more sustainable future for generations to come. In his speeches and presentations, he firmly argued that we must rapidly transition to using renewable energy sources and abandon fossil fuels to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and reverse the trend of global warming. Climate change. Together, we will delve into the history of this phenomenon, its impact on the environment and communities, and what we can do to protect our future. Climate change is a natural phenomenon that has marked Earth's history. Since the formation of the planet, the climate has experienced fluctuations caused by orbital variations, solar cycles, and volcanic activity. These changes have led to ice ages and interglacial periods, with the biosphere and ecosystems gradually adapting. However, let's focus on the modern era, especially the late 19th century. With the advancement of the Industrial Revolution, which began in the 18th century, human activities have brought significant changes to the atmosphere. Massive emissions of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, CO2, methane, CH4, and nitrous oxide, N2O, resulting from the burning of fossil fuels for energy, transport, and industry, have begun to alter the natural balance of our climate. This massive increase in greenhouse gas emissions has changed the composition of the atmosphere and influenced the planet's climate. This phenomenon is known as global warming or anthropogenic climate change. Due to the consumption of fossil fuels and large-scale deforestation, the concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere has risen from around 280 parts per million, ppm, before the Industrial Revolution to over 400 ppm today. This has caused a stronger greenhouse effect, gradually warming the planet. With the advancement of technology and scientific research, more and more evidence has been gathered about the link between human activities and global warming. Thus, research has reached a firm consensus. Climate change is real and poses a serious threat to our environment and communities. The history of climate research reveals voices from the 19th century that issued the first warnings about the impact of human activities on the climate. In 1896, Swedish chemist Svante Arrhenius hypothesized that the increase in CO2 emissions in the atmosphere could lead to global warming. Over the last decades, we have witnessed dramatic changes caused by global warming. In polar regions, glaciers and ice caps are rapidly melting, leading to sea level rise and threatening coastal communities and delicate ecosystems. At the same time, climate change has generated alterations in precipitation patterns, impacting water resources and food security. Some arid regions face severe droughts, while others are affected by devastating floods. Extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and intense. Hurricanes, storms, wildfires, and heat waves pose threats to lives and properties in various parts of the world. Biodiversity is another area severely affected by climate change. Plant and animal species face major challenges in survival, as their natural habitats are affected by global warming. Some species are forced to migrate to cooler or wetter regions to survive, disrupting the balance of existing ecosystems. These changes can have complex and unpredictable consequences on food chains and species interactions. Biodiversity loss poses a threat to the proper functioning of ecosystems and can impact agriculture and fishing, directly affecting human food sources. The prospects for the future of climate change are worrisome. If we do not take immediate and significant actions to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, we can expect a future with devastating consequences. Research in the climate field predicts that by the end of the century, the global average temperature could rise by 1.5 degrees Celsius or even 2 degrees C above pre-industrial levels if adequate measures are not taken. This could trigger irreversible changes, such as the complete melting of the Greenland ice sheet and a significant sea level rise. A rise in sea levels would affect coastal populations, exposing them to the risk of frequent flooding and leading to forced migrations to safer regions. However, climate change is not limited to physical effects. There will also be economic and social implications as natural resources, agriculture, and industry will be affected. Another concerning aspect is the risk that climate change could worsen social inequality. Poor and vulnerable communities in developing countries will be more exposed to risks and less prepared to cope with the impact of climate change. However, hope is not lost. We can and must take action to protect our planet and ensure a sustainable future for generations to come. Solutions to combat climate change are within our reach and require global, national, and individual commitment. One of the most important actions is reducing greenhouse gas emissions. This involves transitioning from the use of fossil fuels to renewable energy sources such as solar and wind energy. Innovation and clean technologies play a crucial role in this transition. We must also focus on conserving and expanding forests, which play a vital role in absorbing carbon dioxide and maintaining ecological balance. Adapting to the already ongoing climate changes is as important as reducing emissions. Investment in resilient infrastructure, sustainable urban planning, and the development of efficient irrigation systems can help reduce the risks associated with climate change. Last but not least, education and public awareness play a vital role in mobilizing people and supporting climate action. The more informed and engaged we are, the greater chance we have of making positive changes. Climate change is real, and our future depends on our actions today. Let's unite our efforts and protect our environment to create a safer and more sustainable future for all. Let's be part of the solution and leave behind a greener, cleaner world for future generations.